breaking and the price is soaring and falling nonstop today. So Bitcoin falls after the US seizes most of the Colonial ransom, according to an article of CNBC. So Bitcoin's price slipped again Tuesday amid a brutal sell-off among digital currencies. The reason for the move was unclear, however, it may be related to concerns over security of the cryptocurrency after U.S. officials managed to recover most of the ransom paid to hackers that targeted Colonial Pipeline. A court document said investigators were able to access the password for one of the hackers' Bitcoin wallets, and the money was recovered by a recently launched task force in Washington created as part of the government's response to a rise in cyber attacks. Which, by the way, if you're feeling uneasy when it comes to money, you can learn how to master your money down below in the description of this episode. So Bitcoin accelerated its slide to fall below the $32,000 level late Tuesday morning. So the world's largest cryptocurrency then recovered slightly, trading 9% lower at 32,854.99 as of 4:01 p.m. ET. Smaller digital coins also slumped, with Ether falling about 8% to 2,499.28 and XRP tanking over 7%. So in April 2021 was looking to be a banner year for digital assets, with Bitcoin having topped $60,000 for the first time ever. But a recent plunge in crypto prices has shaken confidence in the market, and Bitcoin sank to nearly $30,000 last month and is currently down roughly 50% from its all-time high. So the digital currency is now up only about 12% since the start of the year, though it's still more than tripled in price from a year ago. So basically, what you got to also think about too, if you think of Bitcoin for like a long-term situation, this shouldn't really, matter to you too much, right? Because, typically people who end up getting into Bitcoin are trying to invest for the long term, right? And really when it comes down to it, if you're trying to like do this in a very conservative and safe way of investing, or mostly safe way, the best way to get into like cryptocurrency would be maybe put like 1 to 5% of your net worth into things like this, because then it doesn't really have any massive impact on your everyday life, but it has the chance of basically hedging your bets and basically being like, you know what, this might increase over the long term. And, if it drops, I don't really care too much, but if it increases, wow, my net worth could dramatically increase without really much risk to myself, right? And you could always do like dollar cost averaging with this kind of thing, right? So I believe if you go into the description of this episode, you could actually join like Coinbase and like even Robinhood and all that kind of stuff, right? And you can auto invest, a certain amount per day, per week, or per month, and do it like consistently over time. And you can do the same thing with just, investing in a more typical way, where you could just do that over time, basically same day, every month that you invest. Almost like, a mortgage payment or a rental payment. Same day, every month, you put money into like an investment. And so there's a lot of different ways to get involved into this sort of stuff in a more reasonable way, instead of just like tossing and like yodeling and holding all of your money into something like this. But 1 to 5% of your net worth probably wouldn't be that bad of a investment strategy, right? So yeah, not too bad. Feel free to give your thoughts. I don't think this is really that big of a deal. I mean, Bitcoin is probably going to go up and down for the next couple of days nonstop. I mean, honestly, I still wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin ends up getting to like $100,000 by the end of this year at some point. Like I could see that actually happening just because of how crazy Bitcoin is, like, the whole ecosystem of Bitcoin and, the cultiness of the people that end up investing into it as well. Like I could seriously see it go all the way up to 100,000 before this year ends.